Nicolae Ceausescu came to power in 1965 after Gheorghe Gheorghiu Dej died. He was not the supreme leader of Romania from the beginning. First, he had to get rid of the people loyal to Dej, and that took him some years. This presentation is meant to shine a light on the general conditions of the time in which Ceausescu lived. Nicolae Ceausescu became the head of a totalitarian state of socialist type. In case you wonder what that is, a totalitarian state exercises an extremely high degree of control of all aspects of the social life. Socialism means the party controls and organizes aspects such as production, goods distribution, education, living space, etc. Ceausescu was not directly responsible for the socialist totalitarian organization of Romania. The regime had been imposed by the Soviet Union after World War II for a simple reason. Romania entered the Soviet security area designed by Stalin to include states organized according to the socialist totalitarian model. Ceausescu belonged to the second generation of leaders made according to this model. Ceausescu saw what happened to Hungary in 1956 and to Czechoslovakia in 1968. The attempt to reform the socialist totalitarian system imposed by the Soviets in Eastern European countries was crushed rapidly by the Soviet troops and tanks, and the reformers ended up dead. Romania does not border any Western country, and not having any guarantee he would receive support from abroad, Ceausescu could not escape punishment if he tried to change the system. His mere attempt would have brought several hundreds of thousands of Soviet soldiers to Romania. Did he want to reform the system? Hard to believe it. His personal experience and the political education he had received left little room for such an action. He was not very knowledgeable in political theory. Moreover, the people in his immediate circle rejected any new ideas and innovations. The sword of Damocles hung over his head. He felt danger could come both from the inside and from the outside, and he was afraid of changes. Ceausescu era is criticized for the intense efforts made to industrialize the country. In reality, all Ceausescu did was to execute the development plan for Romania, which had been designed before World War II. In the 1930s, Nicolae Malaxa planned the erection of a steel and iron company in Galați or Brăila, and the building of two canals, one to connect the Danube and the Black Sea, and the other to connect Bucharest and the Danube. The development plan for Romania, signed by Mitiță Constantinescu in 1939, was carried out by Ceausescu to the minutest detail. But the problem lies elsewhere. Ceausescu could do it because the socialist totalitarian system allowed him not to take into consideration the needs of the people. In the 1980s, Ceausescu behaved like a medieval Asian tyrant, and generation after generation had to sacrifice itself to comply with his demands. Eventually, the Romanians grew tired of the whole situation. As mentioned previously, Ceausescu was the head of a totalitarian state. The law enabled authorities to control the citizens' private lives, and freedom of opinion was denied. That went against universal human rights and freedoms, but Ceausescu and the system he stood for couldn't care less. The socialist totalitarian regime in Romania was illegal, and its rulers knew it. To secure the survival of the regime, it was necessary to repress any opinion against it and to control the society. Ceausescu's extreme socialist nationalism resulted from his fear of the Soviet Union, and he also took advantage of the Romanians' resentment against the illegal system imposed from the outside. Nicolae Ceausescu was a man of his time. He was not a sick madman who sought to impose his own ideas upon a country. He simply adapted to the existing conditions because he did not have many choices. An attempt to enact profound reform measures would have been sanctioned by the Soviets, and for that reason the system had to be kept in place. The socialist totalitarian system did not allow for internal reforms to be performed, and a true improvement would have proved the system was illegal and would have led to its rapid collapse, which eventually happened in December 1989. All in all, Ceausescu was the dictator of a socialist totalitarian system. His actions were limited by the system itself, by the economic environment, and by geopolitics. As mentioned before, his taking any step in the direction of a real reform would have been sanctioned both from the inside and from the outside. Anyways, that does not clear him of any responsibility for what he did.